First opened in 2002, there's a look inside Ford Field here in downtown Detroit, the Motor City. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the San Francisco 49ers and the Detroit Lions. The calendar has turned to December, and we're in the home stretch now as we're underway in Week 13. This has taken about 7 years. Oh, he's going to take this out of the back of the end zone, and that's going to be a safety. So how's that for an interesting way to start this ball game?
First drive of the game, and you go backwards all the way into your own end zone?
Guess it kind of makes you wonder what else we might have in store here in this one. Fair catch called for and taken just inside the 10-yard line. Okay, Coach, coming to you from the venue that hosted the Super Bowl back in February of '06. Welcome to Ford Field in downtown Detroit. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the San Francisco 49ers and the Detroit Lions. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. On 1st and 10, it's Trubisky. And his first pass is incomplete. He was trying to find Equanimous St. Brown, and it's second down.
All right, that one fell incomplete there, but the best quarterbacks, they'll miss on 40% of their throws, somewhere in that neighborhood, similar to a great hitter in baseball who's going to fail 7 out of 10 times and still have a great year. In this case, you want perfection, but way better that it hits the ground instead of going to an opposite color jersey.
Check 26. Lock in, lock in.
First carry for James Conner. And he'll be corralled right around the 34. 11 yards there and a Lion first down.
And there we see an early burst that makes him one of the leading rushers in the league.
Well, I want you to know, I listened to you yesterday when we were watching film. You said write down the word vision for him. It was on display there, wasn't it?
It certainly was, because he allows the blocks to set up in front of him. And if that continues, it'll be a long afternoon for those guys trying to play some defense.
Alert 3, alert 3. Alert.
Right back to Conner here on first. And he'll be tackled right on the chalk of the 45. It's a gain of 10 for the Lions and a first down. So back-to-back big runs, picking apart this defense on the opening drive.
I thought this was a passing league. I thought this was the era we were in where the ball was always in the air, right?
They didn't get the memo.
And they didn't get the memo, and I know this to be true. Offensive linemen still, to this day, they want to run the football. They want to fire out and hit people across the line of scrimmage, and they're clearing space.
On first and 10 is Conner, pushing forward for 3 up to the 48.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half, maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7.
Lock in, lock in. Alert, 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 alert.
Now they'll throw it with Trubisky. They'll get this complete to the Notre Dame man, Equinemius St. Brown. And this will move the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the 49ers 35.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start, getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
The tackle made there by Tack McKinley.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Stand up in. Check 13. Check 13.
Throwing on 2nd and 8. Trubisky. That's complete to Jake Butt. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up 3rd down.
And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
Alert, 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 alert.
On 3rd down, Trubisky. They'll find Hines out of the backfield. Nothing doing on that one, and it'll be 4th down.
They dialed up the blitz on 3rd down, and your worry as a defense that they can hit you with a big play in that situation. Instead, the blitz pays off, able to rally to the football and make the play.
And this one looks good. It is good. Right down the pipe, and the Lions are going to take a 3-0 lead. Able to move the ball on that drive. Yes, just 3 points, but 4 first downs were in there.
Yeah, and you can look at it and feel pretty good about the whole thing and think, okay, this should continue throughout this ball game. On the flip side, if you're a defender, it's almost like, whew, we only gave up 3. They moved the ball on us pretty well.
Here we go. 15 on it. 15 on it. I'm coming. I'm coming. I'm coming.
Ito Smith, his first carry. He's got a first down and more past the 30. And finally brought down at the 34-yard line. 18 yards, first down Niners. Charles, they won last week despite him not running the ball well. They told us need to get him going. Runs like that help.
And they talked to us about leaning on him because, as you noted, last week they didn't have to. Still won the ball game. They leaned on other people to give them the yardage that they needed, but they really want him to be that guy, and that's what they're doing early in this game.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Now a handoff here to his running back. And he'll be brought down somewhat awkwardly here, and a late flag as well. I think this one's going to be a face mask. And now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. Here's Murray from midfield. He's going to fire one deep over the middle. And this is caught inside the 5. A big play there for the Niners. 48 yards.
But we spent a lot of time exalting the offensive masterminds in this game, right? They draw up these beautiful plays. They look so perfect up on the board. But occasionally, sometimes you just say, throw it up and let him go get it. How about that play?
After the big play, a chance to finish now on 1st and goal. And across the chalk into the end zone, it's a 49er touchdown. A 1-yard touchdown reception. And the 49ers have now taken the lead. Extra point right down the middle. And that makes it a 7-3 lead. Bailey now to kick it away after the touchdown. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And last time able to get 3. It's not what they wanted. They wanted 6, but they got at least something. They mustered something out of the drive.
They'll take it. I like the way you described it. Not ideal, but they'll take it. Anything to put some points on the board. But this time on offense, they don't even want to see the field goal kicker trot on the field. They want that ball in the end zone.
Yeah, they'll be going for 6. Off the play fake. Here's Trubisky. And yes, complete to the tight end McDonald. 27 yards there, a 1st down.
Almost not fair. The big guy running the corner route, being able to lean and push and get to where he wants.
So how do you stop it?
A lot of times you want to have a linebacker on him, a bigger body guy who can handle him physically. But a lot of times that doesn't work as well because his quickness often wins the route.
So from inside Niner territory now, this is 1st and 10 at the 49-yard line.
Alert, 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 alert. Mike 50, Mike 50. Move, move. Double dog, that's the way.
Naeem Hines, his first carry. And that play goes nowhere. Taken down, losing yardage at the 50, right at midfield. It'll be a loss of 1, and it'll be 2nd and 11.
Brings up 2nd and 11 at the 50-yard line.
After 1, 7-3 the score on EA Sports.
Let's go, D, tighten up. Let's go, D, tighten up.
From midfield now, here's Trubisky. Looking for Thomas, but that's intercepted. Picked off at the 24. And they have the football and will take over at the 24-yard line.
First and 10 at their own 24-yard line.
Set.
The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go.
And he will not throw it away. He goes out of bounds, well shy of the line of scrimmage, so that's a sack. So a loss of 5, and it'll be second down. Now Murray off play action. That's caught by his tight end, Evan Ingram. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. Good work after the catch. Going to net him 23 and a first.
It's so important to tackle well against these guys. But you and I both know that's easier said than done when the guy you're trying to tackle looks like this guy.
And it's usually going to take more than one man to get him down, and it did right there.
Buddy up. 54. 54. Check tight. Check tight. Check tight.
First down, Murray. That's complete to Smith. And just in general, Charles, on a play like that, how tough is it for the defense to account for a running back essentially being a receiver downfield?
It's very difficult, especially if the running back has skills like a receiver, and you're aware of that before the game even begins. So throughout your practice sessions, you're going to want to be aware of him. Where is he lining up? What can he do? What kind of damage can he do to us downfield? And who can match up with him without weakening our overall defense? You're exactly right. It's a tough task to match up to him.
They try to throw on second down, but this one is incomplete.
Oh, boy, partner, did that just happen? I've got my hand over my eyes right now because, like him, it's going to haunt my dreams, too. He was wide open. How did he overthrow him there?
Defensively, just very lucky. You know that they got away with one there. The Lions will use the first of their timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this second quarter. So after the second down incompletion, they'll come up now against a 3rd and 6.
Watch your slap. Watch your slap. Watch your slap.
Throwing is Murray on 3rd down. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. 7 yards there. Good enough to move the sticks.
Timing is everything, and they work on this cut all the time. They work on all the timing patterns, and this time it paid off for them. Worked him to the center of the field, cut it to the outside, ball's delivered, gets both feet down for the completion.
Murray now on 1st down. He's going to loft one deep left side here. And it's intercepted. Picked up by Mike Hughes. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Well, if you go by the numbers, you'll find as the temperature goes down, so does the passing efficiency. And now that we're in December, even the routine throws are going to be harder for the quarterbacks. And this one, it winds up getting picked off.
He's coming. Double up. Double up. Ran. Tough. Hey, 18. Alert.
After the interception, here's Trubisky. And this is going to be caught. He won the fight for the football. A really good pickup of 28 yards. The last drive he threw the pick, but he's not shy. He's going downfield again there.
And you can't be, because if you back off after throwing an interception, your whole game plan just goes right out the window, and it makes things easier for a defense. And you and I both know there's a quarterback in this league that's any good that doesn't throw an interception occasionally, and they usually bounce back in a big way. I've seen guys throw 5 and still find a way to win the game in the end.
And he'll be stopped right at midfield. It's a gain of 14 and a first down for Detroit. So they go pass, now they go run, and 2 plays resulting in really nice pickups.
Certainly sounds like a 50-50 deal, doesn't it? Sounds like great balance. Well, you know what all those coaches have told us over the years, Brandon, that balance is? It means doing what you want to, when you want to. That play calling is working very well for them right now.
Check. Lucky. Shift. Whip. Watch the whip. Check 50. Alert.
On first down, it's Connor, and he'll be brought down. Oh, that's a face mask. Certainly looked like it. Indeed, here come the flags. Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
Play action. Now Trubisky. Now Trubisky lost the football. And now this is scooped up by the 49ers. Past the 20, 10. And he will bring this one back. It's a fumble return for the 49er touchdown. And Charles, look at the big fella. What a rumble that was. Not only to scoop it, but then take it the rest of the way for the touchdown.
And now you know they're going to have to hear about it from now on. The defensive backs, he's going to want to run with them, do their drills, the whole deal. He thinks he's the pace setter now.
It doesn't matter what happens in practice this week. He's smiling. So here's the kickoff now as they'll get it again following that fumble return for a score. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll wind up about 4 yards shy of where he would have been if he'd taken a knee, as they'll start at the 21-yard line. The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive. It's been very much a slow start for them. 3 drives and just the 3 points, CD.
Yeah, if you're into the points per drive ratio, that answer is 1. And that's not going to get it done in a ball game. They've got to find a way to finish these drives in end zones, not having balls go through goalposts.
Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
On 2nd and 9, Trubisky finds his running back, James Conner. Give him 6 on the play, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down. We've got a 14-3 ball game with 2 minutes left in the opening half. And we remind you, coming up at the half, we'll join who, Charles?
The coach.
The coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from games in progress, as well as scores from earlier today. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off around the 37. And the return here will go to the 31-yard line. How about the big boys snagging one? You don't see that every week.
No, you don't, but a lot of them are just reliving their old dreams, going back to when they were in youth football and in high school. They didn't always play defensive line. Some of them actually handled the football, and you can see the flashback when he grabbed that one.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. After the turnover, here's Murray. The ball popped in the air and intercepted. Darius Slay with a pick.
So that's back-to-back drives where they've thrown an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on? And just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. They are looking to make a bit of a 180. They are sputtering right now.
And frankly, I think it's time to call your playmakers together and say, all right, guys, we're going to lean on you through this patch. We need you to get us back on track and get us going in the right direction. So you're calling plays geared to them. Not necessarily what you look at your plays, oh, this hurts the defense. I want the ball in the hands of X, Y, and Z and see if we can move forward.
So don't get too cute. Go to the playmakers. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. Here's Trubisky. He'll get this one to the Golden Domer, St. Brown. And he'll be taken down, but they've got this one up to the 35-yard line. 22 yards there, a 1st down. They go play action with Trubisky. And down he goes. The 49ers get there. Tack McKinley make that now 8 sacks for him on the season. Well, they go play fake. The problem is nobody was faked out.
And when no one's faked out, what's the end result?
Sack.
Quarterback gets hit.
So following the sack, they'll try to change their fortune here on 2nd and 13. Now Trubisky. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on 3rd down. And Charles, got to like what this defense has been able to do these last couple of plays.
Yeah, they get the sack on 1st down, then they force the incomplete pass. Now they're just a play away from getting the football right back, but it's a big play. They've got to hold up.
Now Trubisky on 3rd and long. Open man is Michael Thomas. And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. And now this is scooped up by the 49ers.
Hey, I'm all about defense forcing plays and getting takeaways. But an interception and 2 fumbles in their last 3 offensive possessions.
Time to readjust.
Yeah, you can't just give all the credit to the defense on that. They've got to look in the mirror and take a blame themselves and figure out how to not do it anymore.
Trubisky will throw. That's complete to Hines out of the backfield. The Lions now going to use the 2nd of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 27 seconds remaining here in the 2nd quarter. 4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6.
Let's get off the field, D. Hey, ball. Let's go, Mike 50.
Hey, seam 6.
Mike 50. I'm coming after you.
Here's Trubisky to throw. This is complete to Michael Thomas. And he'll go out of bounds inside the 15-yard line. It's a gain of 10 for the Lions and a 1st down.
First and 10 at the 14-yard line.
The Lions into the red zone for the first time. It's 1st and 10 at the 14.
You. Ran, up. Mike's 50. Get ready.
Out of the gun, Trubisky. To the end zone, but it's incomplete. Vance McDonald, the tight end, was the target. That'll bring up 2nd down.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync, only way to play good defense.
So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10.
Watch tight end. Tight end's right. Hey. We got 3. 3 down. Hey, ball. Hot. Blue. Check 49. Shoot. Check 43. Tighten up. Slam.
Here's Hines. Showed off the juke, but still corralled shy of the 5 at the 6-yard line. And the Lions quickly now going to use the last of their timeouts as it'll come with 15 seconds to play in the 1st half.
Ready? Man, I got you. Alert. Mike's 50. Nice.
Hey, Delta.
50's the mic. I'm coming after you.
3rd and 2. Now Trubisky. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete.
Keep playing hard, fellas. All day. Woo! Let's get it.
So they won't get a touchdown, but here's a chance to at least get 3 to end the 1st half. From the left hash, a chip shot here. And McManus able to put it through. And a 2nd field goal here cuts their deficit to 14-6 now. So, yes, they'll still be down going into intermission, but the deficit is now made even smaller, very manageable.
Yeah, and if nothing haywire happens here in this last couple of precious seconds, they will go into the locker room with a nice bounce in their step, having gotten a little bit closer on the scoreboard.
First and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. Time for a final kneel down or a safe run, and then they can head to the locker room with a lead.
Yeah, or they can even run a screen. You know, something they feel is somewhat safe that might actually pop and turn into a big play. That's what you usually run in this situation.
Or go 4 verticals because why not?
Because you're feeling it, right? You're just feeling it.
A final shot before half from Murray. He's going to rifle one deep left side. And that will be incomplete. Would have been a big hitter if they had connected. Instead, it's second down. So we have reached halftime here in what's an 8-point game. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach, it's the 49ers out in front, and they will get the football first as well as we are back and started in the second half. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line.
At their own 23-yard line.
The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy
nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Protection certainly going to need to be a bit better here on 2nd and 16. Now Ito Smith. And not a whole lot to speak of there as they'll bring him down shy of the 20. Only 2 yards on the pickup there, and now they're looking at a long 3rd down. Here's Murray. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
Yeah, and they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
First down, 49ers.
Throwing on first down is Murray. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Mike Hughes came crashing in that time, got the sack.
I think normally we would talk about this more with basketball players and football players, but let's adopt it in this case. He's a stat sheet stuffer.
Had the interception earlier, now a sack. What, he just needs a touchdown for the trifecta.
That's about all he needs, and he's going to go for it.
After the sack on first down, Murray. And he's going to go down again. Max Crosby. He's the one that drops him this go-around. And that pass rush getting strong here. Back-to-back sacks. Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down went backwards. It's 3rd and very long.
He's crashing. He's checking crash. Quick dash. Come. Switch.
Murray with a 3rd and long. Wide open receiver complete. They'll get 19 out of this, but it will still bring up a 4th down.
I don't know how many times, not just in my playing career, but you and I working together, have we ever heard a coach say, I just don't have that play on my call sheet. And that's really what we had here. That was a big hole they were trying to get out of.
Yeah, big gain, still a ways to go, though.
At their own 20-yard line.
The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half 2.
try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use. Just something to get you off to a quick start.
They run with Hines. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 3.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
From the 27, Trubisky, nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
So one quick, easy analysis about why they've struggled so far. They keep putting themselves in 3rd and long situations. They just took another sack right there.
Now, the offensive film session tomorrow may be a little longer than it normally is.
Not a lot of positive grades will be handed out thus far.
Let's see what they draw up here. 3rd and long following the sack of Trubisky.
Alert, 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 alert.
50's the mic. 50's the
Hey, Haywood.
Watch QB drop.
Go, Mike 50, Mike 50. You don't see me in your nightmares.
From the shotgun is Trubisky. Finding room at the 30. He'll get this one complete to Zay Jones. And he's going to be taken down about a yard shy of the first at the 29.
And another thing that makes the comeback route really effective is that oftentimes after you've made the initial move, receivers breaking away from the defensive back, and that makes it a really tough play to defend. A nice chunk of yardage picked up there.
And he gets it away, a directional kick going toward the sideline. And no return here. Where will they spot it? They say just outside the 20-yard line. The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. This crew had to punt last time they had the ball, but when you've got a lead like this, you content to play the field position game?
You are to an extent, especially if you like your defense, because you have the lead, you've been controlling the game. But why put them in a tougher spot? You want to get out there and get something done on offense and maybe take command of this game yourself.
4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6.
Kill.
Play action. Now it's Murray. He's going to air one out. And that's caught inside the 35. Touchdown, 49ers. A big play there. His 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Niners are able to stretch their lead. Always important to get the first score of the second half. Now you start to pull away a little bit and get some breathing room going.
And now we find out about the fortitude of the group that's behind, because they were counting on getting into the game a little bit more, right? Maybe they get the first score. That doesn't happen. It looks almost insurmountable, but it's not. Let's see how hard they play the rest of the game.
Murray going to throw, and he's got it. So the try for 2 successful, and that bumps their lead up even further. Bailey now to kick it away after the touchdown. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And the decision to bring it out, a good one, as he's up a yard or 2 shy of the 30. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you've called before, realize it hasn't worked
Go to
so
something
well,
else.
and maybe try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8.
Hey, we got to get to the ball, team. We got to get to the ball. Let's keep moving. Under 10. Under 10. 10.
Hey, alert, 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 alert.
Throwing here, Trubisky. Now that'll be caught by St. Brown. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 11 yards there and a Lion first down.
Tight dog, tight dog, tight dog. Check 52. 80 weapons.
On the delay, here's Hines. Ooh, the juke. And he'll go down, and that will do it for the third quarter of action. Back now at Ford Field. It's the Lions trailing, but with possession of the football as we get set to bring you the fourth quarter.
All right, D, let's try. All right, D.
From just shy of midfield, Trubisky. They'll find Hines out of the backfield. They'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. Good yardage after the catch as that play good for 30 and a first. So the big play gets them all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10. From the gun, it's Trubisky. And that is incomplete. Took a shot there on first down, but he couldn't reel it in.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, fourth quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. So after the incompletion, 2nd and 10 from the 22. Now it's Trubisky. And an alley to Rob. Now Trubisky lost the football.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, the teammate is...
And it'll be intercepted. Picked up by Jonathan Jones. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Well, that's 3 picks he's now thrown in this game.
And I know this, the holiday season, because here we are in December.
Of giving.
Right, it is the season of giving. Maybe for his own sake after the game, he may have to announce that he's donating certain amounts to charity for each interception that he threw.
On 1st and 10, here's Murray. Oh, he got position on him, and he pulls it in. It'll go as a first down for San Francisco on a pickup of 16. They have the nice cushion. They just want to pour it on right now, still throwing the football.
And I know my background says, why do you need to do this? Just go ahead and run out the clock and get a win. But as many people have pointed out to me, it's a video game, man. Go ahead and put the numbers up. Sportsmanship, not an issue.
Exercise those fingers. Now left side, a completion to his tight end. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. An excellent pickup of 20 yards.
Not only have they completed a couple on this drive, but they peeled off some pretty good chunks of yardage, too.
Absolutely great start. 2 nice plays in the pass game. Now can they continue to feed off that? Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. Murray now on first down. And this one's incomplete. They don't get the hook up there, but you really have to marvel at how precise he's been throwing the football these last couple weeks.
Precise, because if you're at 70% or better 2 weeks in a row, you have a job as long as you want one in this league, won't you? I mean, let's face it, it's not just West Coast offense either. He's putting the ball downfield as well.
Now a toss left side into the hands of his tight end. And he's going to get this one down to the edge of the red zone. They're down here in the 4th, and that personal foul penalty is not going to help.
No, in these types of situations, players will tell you that's extra intensity. From where we sit, it's actually frustration. Not a good play.
And now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. Eluding the pressure right. And intercepted. Maybe the turning point they need. Picked off by Von Bell. He was looking for Paul Richardson there.
I think that interception happened for 2 reasons. Quarterback gets outside the pocket and panics a little bit. And receiver doesn't make sure he's absolutely in an open spot. So there's a guy lurking, took the ball from him.
Yeah, so don't wave your arms, right, as a receiver if you're not wide open.
Got to know that you're open. Otherwise, just don't do it.
The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive. And 3 interceptions in this game. I would have to think, I wasn't a quarterback, but number 4 is kind of, you're like, oh, man, I can't throw forward.
No, what's interesting is, what do the coaches decide to do now? Having thrown 3, do you alter your offensive strategy? Do you take the ball out of his hands and maybe turn to the running game? Or do you have that supreme confidence that he's going to turn things around?
We'll see what they do. Play action. It's Trubisky. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off by Troy Apke. Just a little bit of a rough stretch. 6 interceptions now in these last 2 weeks combined.
I know the easy thing is to go back to mechanics, footwork, things of that nature. I'm also wondering, is he getting fooled by what he's seeing on defense? Has the scouting report changed? Are they showing him things different than what he expected? For the 2nd week in a row, he's throwing it to the guys in the wrong color shirts.
Yeah, he better figure, whatever the reason is, he better figure it out. 2 of their 3 red zone trips so far, they've come up empty on. They'll look to reverse that trend on 2nd and goal. After the turnover, here's Murray. Escaping the pressure right. Hit as he throws there, incomplete.
Well, we always talk about how you've got to be quick when you go through your progressions, and here's another prime example. Trying to look downfield, he was standing in the pocket, but just couldn't find anyone open, could he?
No, not enough time. They hit him and forced that incompletion. Line of scrimmage, again the 4-yard line. 2nd and goal. Murray now. Flush to his right. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete. He was looking for Paul Richardson there, but now it's 3rd and goal.
Different pass rushes are designed for different things. Sometimes you want to keep the quarterback in the pocket. Sometimes you want him to flush. I don't know exactly how this one was designed, but they made sure they moved him to his right. He got out of the pocket. Unfortunately for him, he was hit as he tried to throw the ball, and that resulted in an incompletion.
They've been so good on 3rd down all day long. Can they convert another here on 3rd and goal? And he'll take this into the end zone for a San Francisco touchdown. From 4 yards out. And the Niners take advantage of field position on the turnover to cash this one in. Point after, right down the middle. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Bailey now to kick it away after the touchdown. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track?
Well, this is where leadership really comes into play. How's the head coach handling it? The offensive coordinator? Sometimes they just make a joke. All right, guys, you had your fun? All right.
Throw it out the window.
Yeah, let's get back on track here. And sometimes that'll work just fine.
I guess it's time now to lean on that leadership. Looking to throw on 2nd down. Trubisky, and he's got his man, the tight end, McDonald. The Lions will use the first of their timeouts. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the 4th quarter. The Lions on 3rd down. They've had their troubles, just 1 for 6. This is 3rd and 8. Now it's Trubisky. It's caught. Jones. It's a gain of 14 and a first down for Detroit. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair.
1st and 10 at the 38-yard line.
So the Lions in possession of the football as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Looking to throw Trubisky on first down. And now here is another interception. Picked off at the 39. And he'll return this ball across midfield to the 47-yard line. If you combine last week and this week, he's got a hat trick going because he had 2 interceptions a week ago.
He's seeing the ball so well and understanding where receivers are and positioning. I mean, just watching him work with such great technique and paying it off by actually catching the ball when he has a chance, he's helping his team in a huge way.
Back to throw it. Murray dancing to his left. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Jarrell Casey, he's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year. Now it's Smith running right. And he's down right around midfield after a gain of 2, maybe 3.
Sometimes you're aligned perfectly and the play comes to you, and sometimes you got to cover some ground to go make the play, as we just saw there.
We saw a great example of perseverance right there on that play.
Got to be careful. They might want to throw one over his head as this game progresses.
It's easy work, and it's coming again.
For the Lions, an extra DB in the game now here on third down. Here's Murray from midfield. He's going to fire one deep left sideline. And unable to connect. Incomplete. Now give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down.
Finally, a good play there defensively on the deep ball. The secondary has had its struggles this entire game. Offensively, they've had their way with them.
Here comes the 49ers punter now. He'll boot it away from about his 35. And the kick's away as he angles this one for the sideline.
Let's go, boys. Bring it.
At their own 12-yard line.
The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes.
And my goodness, another interception. Picked off at the 47. He couldn't get the hook up there that time with Thomas. Yet another interception, and I just had to double-check my math. But it is now 8 between last week and this week.
Well, I just used a calculator. I didn't worry about double-checking it. But the thing that always throws me when you see quarterbacks in this type of a bad spot, they're trying to figure out what they can do to change it, and sometimes they try too hard, and they never get out of it. And that's where he is right now. He's just locked in a really bad way.
Looking left side, and it's complete. And they'll work this down to the 40-yard line. Tackled there. 13 yards there and a Niner first. And with that last play, he's now up over that 300-yard mark.
Plenty of lead, but I've seen no other choice.